Got scrap wood you don't know what to do with? I got the perfect project for all you guys. Sick and tired of all this scrap wood laying around, no clue what to do with it whatsoever, just sits in a bucket and sits there till the end of time pretty much because us woodworkers refuse to throw away our scraps. Well, I got the perfect project that even a beginner can do and have a custom awesome piece nobody has. What is that project? We're going to be making a chef's knife. Hey, hey, meep, meep, meep. We're going to be making a custom wood handle for this knife, and it's going to be a beautiful piece to go along with any one of your cutting boards or cheese slicers or anything that you cut with. I'm Big Josh, aka Wood Squatch, and let's get this project started. Some of the tools that you're going to need for this project is a belt/spindle sander, some type of bandsaw. A miter saw is preferred, but you can use your favorite circular saw as well. Okay, some of the materials you're going to need is a Rockler Chef's Knife kit, some JB Weld quick curing epoxy, various whatever hardwood, scrap wood that you got laying around, and some blood, sweat, and tears, and a lot of sanding, guys. Get ready. What's up, guys? Let's get you started on this project. See those stainless steel pins right there? Those are very, very crucial. Do not lose those or accidentally throw those away. And, of course, safety first. Tape your knife blade up so when you're working with it, you do not cut yourself. You don't accidentally chip a little chip out of the blade, and then go get the type of wood that you want. We chose maple, and then just trace out a little section of your maple that's big enough so that you can cut it in half and make two pieces out of it. It doesn't got to be perfect. As you see here, I wasn't trying to be perfect. You just need a general idea. And now let's go head over to the miter box and let's cut out this little piece of wood using our beautiful DeWalt 12-inch miter saw. We're just going to cut out that little piece of wood, as you see here. Be careful as always, safety first. And then that's what we're going to get. Now we're going to chop that piece of wood down the middle in half with our bandsaw. All right, now we're at our bandsaw, and as you see, I got the wood standing up on its side, and we are going right down the middle so that we have two identical pieces side by side. Please don't make fun of my bandsaw here, guys. It's what I have. It's what I have to work with. It does the job for these little projects. I am working on getting a bigger, better bandsaw, but it gets the job done for the tiny little projects that I do. But as you see here, we got it cut down both sides, and we have two very equal pieces of wood. Now you want to take those two pieces of maple, and now you want to see them little holes in the tang there. You want to mark exactly where them holes are at. You want to get that wood flush up with the knife blade. There they are. Now this is very important. Now you want to take your two pieces of wood. You want to line them up perfectly. Some people tape it. And then you want to head over and drill those holes out. This is very crucial, guys. If you're just off a little bit, your pins aren't going to go in. Just like a lot of things I say on this channel, please take your time. You are not in a rush. Take your time. Make sure that drill bit is at 90 degrees straight up and down. Make sure you're hitting your mark. Because like I said, if they're just a centimeter off, your pins will not line up with your tang and your knife handle will fall apart. Now this is where the JB Weld comes in. Very, very simple stuff. You just squeeze it down, both sides dispense, and now you take your little stir stick, you stir it up for about 30 seconds. You really want to mix that hardener with the resin up really, really good. This is 5-minute epoxy, so you do not have a lot of work time with this. So once you pour it out, you better be ready to spread and work with it, or you may end up having to redo it all and you just wasted a bunch of epoxy. Now take all of that epoxy and just start slathering it all over both of your pieces of wood. Start slathering it all over your tang. As you see here, I started with the first piece and now I'm lining my holes up with my tang holes. I had already slathered that piece of wood, and now we're going to slather the tang in that epoxy. Do not be shy with this. Use a ton of it because this is the strength of your knife. Now, once you get them two pieces of wood epoxied to your knife tang there, you need to clamp it down. Now, my camera died after I clamped these down. You then also want to slather your pins in it and slide your pins in those holes and let that sit for at least 5 to 10 minutes. All right, let's head over to the spindle/belt sander, and this can be kind of sketchy if you're not used to using one of these tools. If you're not used to one of these tools, Please be careful because you are holding a sharp object, whether you got the blade taped up or not. But as you see here, we are starting to shape the handle of the knife. We're taking all of that excess wood down. I did trim the wood down with my bandsaw a little bit before I headed over to the sander, but you are now shaping your knife. You are shaping the tang in the manner in which you want to shape them. Now, this knife is going to be for Christina, my wife. So the handle I made was a little bit smaller than I would have made for me. So you got to keep that in mind. This is going to be your knife. It's got to feel good to you. It doesn't matter if it feels good to somebody else because this is going to be your knife. So I went back and forth with my wife and I kept letting her test it out, and we just kept shaping it until she said, that's perfect. And this is one of those steps where I'm going to tell you, take your time and be careful. The stainless steel pins that's holding the knife together in the tang are a bitch to grind down. It takes a while. You got to have patience with this step. If you don't have patience, you are going to get frustrated. But here we go. We shaped it up enough. And now we're going to head over to our bench and just start hand sanding the rest of it down. This project will test your patience. Trying to shape the knife to be just perfect, trying to get the right feel, all the sanding in the world. I maybe did 2 or 3 hours of sanding on this tiny little piece of wood just to get the shape perfect for Christina. But as you see, we are sanding with 60 grit right here because we want to remove material. We also want to cut into them pins evenly while we're removing material because there are still a little bit of excess wood, as you can see there, around the tang that I am hand sanding down at this moment. These tedious projects always test my patience. My wife is very lucky. I love her very much. Love you, Christina. But as you see, we just keep sanding and sanding and sanding with our Milwaukee sander. The reason why I chose the Milwaukee sander is because it removes quite a bit of material, and it's probably one of my most powerful sanders out. But now we're moving on to, this is where your rotary tool comes in right here. Now, we did get some epoxy on the knife and the tang, and we're just trying to clean up all of them round edges all the way around the knife handle with 80 grit sandpaper on the end of our Milwaukee rotary tool here. And this is another thing. You got to be patient with it. You got to take off little layers at a time. If you try to take out too much at once, you will leave divots in your handle and you'll have a wavy handle and it just won't feel good. But as you see right there, it looks pretty darn good and feels pretty darn good. And some more work with the rotary tool. Now I'm just engraving a design into the knife handle because then we're going to pour epoxy over it or Star Bond with accelerator, whatever you want to do. I'm just making squiggly lines, trying to just kind of wing it here. And then we're going to go fill those lines, those divots, with black epoxy or, like I said, Star Bond with accelerator. Now that we got our design all carved out, now we're just taking little drops of Star Bond, kind of like a super glue / epoxy type thing, and we're just gonna start filling in our gaps that we carved out. We're gonna let it sit for a couple of seconds, then we will hit it with the accelerator. You want to give the epoxy or the super glue enough time to get into all the nooks and crevices, so that way when you go back over and sand it, there aren't no voids or bubbles or stuff like that. Now we will let this sit for a couple of minutes and then take it over to the belt sander just to get the majority of it off. And that's what it looks like when you get most of it off, but you didn't get all of it off. You don't want to take it all off with the belt sander because you do run the risk of that epoxy coming out of the void and you having to redo it all. So I like to just take it down to about 80% and then just sand it. And then I go back over it with a couple of dabs of the Star Bond again, let that sit. And the reason why we go back over it with some more Star Bond is because you do notice a couple of little spots where it came out a little bit or there was a bubble and you just want to redo it. And yep, you guessed it, more sanding. And now you just want to take it down with the sander until you get it feeling nice and smooth. And that's what it looks like. And once you get it just how you want it, now it's time to finish it with some Odie's wood butter. You take it, you rub it into the wood, you let it sit, and then you go back over it and you wipe off the sheen. It really adds nice sheen to your knife handle. Just looks awesome. That stuff isn't cheap. Use it sparingly.
We took a piece of scrap wood, went and bought a Rockler chef's knife kit, and now we got a one-of-a-kind, nobody owns chef's knife. that cuts like a dream, as you just saw. It's funny how a piece of scrap wood that was about ready to go in the fire pit turned out to be this beautiful, right? This is why we don't throw out our scraps as woodworkers, right, guys? Like I was saying, I probably would have left the epoxy design out a little bit, and it would have probably looked better just with the maple wood. We tried to hit a home run, and I think we ended up hitting a ground rule double, which this is still very nice, and I have no problem trying to sell this to somebody because it came out absolutely flawless. If you don't shape it right, it doesn't sit in your hand well, so you may hit a couple of bumps along the way. Installing the pins is very difficult. Cutting down the stainless steel pins is very difficult, but if you just take your time, have a little patience and perseverance, you can end up with a beautiful piece like we have right here. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think we kind of hit a home run, or do you think we just hit a ground rule double? I won't get mad at your comments. I like the way it came out. I just wish I would have left it plain, that's all. Our next project is going to be a cutting board that matches this knife. We are going to do a maple and Wenge cutting board. I have never worked with Wenge before, so this is going to be very interesting. It's got that dark, almost black look, but it's a deep dark brown. Once you add the oil to it, it looks black, so I think it will go good with the black design. So that's what we're doing. We're going to build a Wenge maple cutting board next to go with the chef's knife so that you can chop whatever you want to in your kitchen. It's funny how we took a scrap piece of wood and turned it into something that's just not a showpiece, but it's going to go to work in my kitchen as well. We didn't have too many mistakes on this one like we did our last couple of projects, which is a good thing. It came out almost flawlessly. We also spent a lot of time on this project, a lot of sanding. If you don't like sanding, this may not be the project for you. If you love this video and love what we're doing here on Wood Squatch, can you hit the little like button? And if you're not subscribed, could you go ahead and do that right now? That'd be awesome. It's completely free and it helps this channel grow a lot. We got over 300 some odd subscribers this week, so thank you everybody for making Wood Squatch grow quickly. And remember everybody, the best projects are built, not bought. Just like this chef's knife. We'll see everybody on the next one. Wenge maple cutting board to match the knife.